Creative Brain Candy by creators for creators.
Officials reporting more ships have just arrived over the capitals of India, England, and Germany, bringing estimates up to anywhere from 10 to 15 of these city-sized spacecraft.
I know, Ma. Just try and stay calm.
As to why these ships...
Tell her to pack up and leave town.
Why? What happened?
Just do it!
Oh, Ma, listen. Get your stuff together and head for Annis's. Don't argue with me. Just go. David, why'd I just send my mother to Atlanta? David, talk to me.
Hear me tell you that the signal hidden in the satellite feed is slowly recycling down to extinction?
Not really.
Countdown.
A countdown. Wait, a countdown to what, David?
It's like in chess. First, you strategically position your pieces. Then when the timing's right, you strike. See? They're positioning themselves all over the world, using this one signal to synchronize their efforts. In approximately 6 hours, the signal's going to disappear and the countdown's going to be over.
And then what?
Checkmate.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God, I gotta call my brother. I better call my housekeeper. I gotta call my lawyer. Forget my lawyer.
And welcome to Smoking and Drinking in Space. This is a sci-fi podcast from a couple guys who think they know sci-fi. And this week we discussed the film that turned the alien invasion genre on its head and set a new level for summer blockbusters and inspirational speeches. It's 1996's Independence Day. But first, he's the guy in the flying saucer hat on top of the IBM building in the LA, waiting for his turn to get probed. To my guy who just wants to get the fuck out of town and gets rear-ended on the way out, it's James. How are you doing, James?
Yeah, I was doing good until that introduction. That was, I would not welcome our alien overlords at all.
I would not. Yeah,
I would be. I would have my guns ready. You would be on top
of that building going, "I was right. I was right."
Well, maybe.
And he's the weird scientist who never sees the light of day and acts as a translator after an alien tentacle is shoved up his ass. It's Rob. How you doing, Rob?
First off, I need to say something. Kat and Logan need to come back down here to Texas because one, it's 14 degrees Fahrenheit, which is negative 10 Celsius, and I think I just saw a moose in my front yard.
What do you mean back down? Were they down there before?
Did they come visit you?
Obviously, they did because it's the moose has a collar on it that says "If found, return to Canada." And they're the only two Canadians I know. So they need to come get their shit, take the snow with them.
You know, it feels like negative 26 here, Fahrenheit.
I don't care. It is. I'm not supposed to have this kind of weather.
I find it hilarious that when you Southerners start bitching about how cold it is, like you get it for a couple of days. You're like, oh, it's so cold.
Yeah, I can't wait till next weekend. Next weekend, it's going to be 65.
Okay, you can't include me in that group.
No, I'm not. Because you have moved and now
he's
you
officially
live with
a northerner.
It. Oh yeah, you live with it every day now.
So, I used to live with it every day
hell.
When I was young too. I lived in a place in Texas that actually had winter.
Okay, so there you go. But unfortunately, Rob doesn't. And he's bitching about it. He gets like literally 3 days of cold. I don't know how to handle it. Turn your fucking heater on and shut the fuck up. That's how you handle it. That's how we handle it. Like, God damn, I'm just tired of it. It's all over social media.
James, shut up and watch and look at Discord.
James, what's happening around CBC this week?
Happening around CBC this week, we're still looking for a couple of podcasters for Bad Gamers Anonymous. So if you are a video game expert, and I put that in quotes because you really don't, you could be a novice. I don't give a shit, but you want a podcast, go to creativebraincandy.com, click the apply button, and while you're there, check out the great family of podcasts that we have, including Spoiler, They Die. Spoiler, They Die is a fantastic podcast. I'm getting choked up just talking about how good it is. These two women, fine, upstanding Canadian citizens, because all Canadian citizens are fine and upstanding. I think if you're not, they just boot you out of Canada. they're Kat and Logan. They do just they're the best female podcasters we have on Creative Brain Candy. They know crime. They know true crime. They're great at extortion and just explaining to people about murder and death. And they're really great at marrying murder and death together with humor. Peanut butter and jelly. Pineapple on a pizza. Which is an abomination, by the way. Don't do that.
No, it's not.
Oh, my God. You're one of those? Anyway, back to Kat and Logan. Like, they're just fantastic individuals. I can't really say enough about how good they are, so I won't. GreaterBrainCandy.com. Check out all the great podcasts we have there, and that's all that's going on around CBC this week.
Thanks, James. Rob, you got any news for us this week?
Yeah, so first thing I've got is Netflix is producing a new anime series called Pacific Rim: The Black.
Yay.
They just released a trailer for it. It looks halfway interesting. I won't watch it, but there might be some huge Pacific Rim fans that
I've never even seen the Pacific Rim movie.
Wait, you've never seen the Pacific Rim movie?
Is that on our list? Because if it's not, it needs to be.
It needs to be. Although I don't, he probably is going to say it's what is it, kaiju?
It is kaiju.
Well, it is kaiju, but
technically kaiju is sci-fi. So yes,
there you go.
It would qualify for the list. If it's not on the list, I'll
it's-
put it on there. God,
It's more sci-fi than 11/22/63.
100%.
Yeah, because it's got rock'em sock'em robots. Well, no, that was real steel.
That was real steel.
Dude, they pull out a sword. It has swords in it. That's freaking awesome. And jump jets. Oh, and what's his name? Ron Perlman.
Yeah, I don't care.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's coming out. It's supposed to be coming out on March 4th. So hey, if you're a Pacific Rim fan and you like anime, go watch it. Apparently, this takes place after the second movie. Australia got overrun. I don't know if it's in.
I don't think I ever saw the second movie.
Yeah, I don't think it's in. Canon, but that's their.
All right, is it dubbed or is it?
No.
Is it? So there's subtitles.
Wait,
no.
They made a second
anime.
Pacific Rim movie?
Yeah.
Uprising.
Yeah, I never watched it.
Yeah,
the first one was phenomenal. Like, if you didn't like the first Pacific Rim movie, I'm fairly confident you're a communist.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking
so
of communists,
the first one was
there's
so
Russians
phenomenal.
in this one.
You skipped the second one.
Yeah, I'd lost interest at that point.
It's because it took too long to come out.
Yeah, it really did.
All right, what else you got, Rob?
The other thing I've got a couple other things.
I was going to say, you only have two things. You only took two shits this week.
No, I've got three things. There is potentially a habitable exoplanet around Alpha Centauri A. So they've been, they knew that there was a planet inside of the habitable zone around Centauri B. For those that don't know, Centauri is a 3-star solar system. So they thought that there was a habitable planet around B. They've done some research and some more observations of Alpha Centauri, and they think they have found something around A.
Wait, is it a 3-star solar system or a 3-star cluster?
3-star, I guess. It's a 3-star system is what it's saying.
Okay, all right.
Is
this the super Earth that I just read about? Like, it's supposed, like, it's in the Goldilocks zone, and it's like 3 times the size of Earth or whatever.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well. All right.
So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Sure. You got anything exciting this week?
Yeah. So it was reported earlier this week, 3 days ago, that Scott Bakula is going to be returning as Jonathan Archer to Star Trek.
This is all you have. This is all you have.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, because that's silly. Number one, he'd be returning to Picard,
or Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds would make more sense, but
yeah.
I had read that it was going to be Picard.
Well, they're saying likely a
How's he going to show up in Picard?
Yeah,
probably through a holodeck, the
Probably
same
through
way
a
that
holo program, yeah.
Riker and Troy showed up in the series finale of Enterprise, which was the holodeck.
Yeah, which was dumb.
No, it wasn't dumb. I thought it was a great idea, but it was a great episode, not a great way to end a series. And Trip's death.
Yeah. And that's why I think that's why I thought it was dumb, is because okay, it's great as a one-off episode, but season finale, and you're basically, making Riker the star.
Right, because even the most casual of Next Generation fans will remember the Pegasus. And oh my God, Starfleet has a cloaked ship. And oh my God, Riker was involved. And oh my God, like everybody remembers that. So it was a great episode. It was a great callback. But then to just kind of like shoehorn in Trip's death, and it just kind of all seemed very forced, and like it ended focusing more on the Pegasus and Riker and Troy than it did the Enterprise. It was kind of
it was not well received.
No. But I can't believe you're not talking about the Pentagon.
No.
God.
See, I'm saving that.
You're saving that for what?
For when I have to do my my proof.
Oh my God.
That's actually pretty good evidence at this point.
Yeah.
That the Pentagon is saying that they have recovered and are testing UFO material.
Oh my God. Consider the fucking source.
What? It's all over. It was on daily. It's released from the Pentagon, the Department of Defense. Like, they have released it.
And you read that?
Like, you can sit there and go, it's the Sun, it's the Daily Mail, it's this. But it's on several websites. It's on several reputable websites, news websites.
Name one.
The Daily Mail?
No.
That's kind of reputable.
No.
The U.S. Sun?
No.
Barstool Sports?
No.
Barstool Sports totally counts as reputable.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, my God. Whatever. We doing a pod crawl.
Let's do a pod crawl. Who's ready?
Yeah,
let's do it.
We can call it, I don't know, say a pod crawl? The pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Pod crawl! Excellent! Insert it deep! Pod crawl! Kind of like a space suppository full of information.
The film opens in Los Angeles just before an earthquake on the lot where the moon landing was filmed. As the earthquake hits and shifts the sands that act as moon dust, an ominous shadow covers the set, foreshadowing the fate of all the sets in the rest of the film. Meanwhile, in New York there is still nothing good to watch on cable, and the signal is crap. David gets called in to fix things and decodes a hidden message in the satellite signals that's basically an oven timer app. In Washington, President Lone Star is getting briefed about a very large object heading for Earth that's as big as a state. While watching a press conference announcing the possibility of a large ship in orbit, David uses his advanced MIT degrees to put 2 and 2 together, and realizes that aliens are using the satellites to coordinate an event, and he doesn't have a good feeling about it being a meet and greet. David grabs his dad and heads to Washington, where it just so happens his ex-wife is part of the White House staff. She brings David in to talk with the president, and he explains that all the smaller ships that have positioned over major population centers will do something pretty bad in about half an hour. Lone Star tells everyone to load up into Winnebago 1 and get the fuck out of Dodge. They race off just in time to watch Washington, D.C. get destroyed along with 14 other major cities. In California, Captain Hiller and his F-18 squadron fly out of El Toro to mount a counterattack against the giant flying pancakes, but they are outmatched by the alien shield technology, and Hiller is the only one to survive after leading an alien chasing him into the side of a cliff. He grabs the unconscious body and starts dragging it across the salt flats when he comes across a caravan of meth labs driving through the desert. He hitches a ride and tells them there is a super-secret base nearby, which happens to be the fabled Area 51. Already there are the president and his amazing friends. They've gotten the grand tour of the place and learned that we've known about these aliens since the 50s, have a few of their preserved corpses, and one of their cool classic fighter craft, complete with fins. About this time, Hiller arrives with his band of roving refugees, and they bring the alien corpse down into the bowels to film Alien Autopsy 2, Electric Boogaloo. The alien doesn't like to be under the knife, however, and tries to buy its freedom with a puppet act. Lone Star has had enough of these motherfucking aliens on this motherfucking planet, and decides to nuke them. He sends B-2 bombers out to all the flying saucers, and the first to arrive is over Houston. They launch the nuke, it annihilates the coastal city, and does nothing to the target. It did, however, set David off on a bender, but like all benders, it gives him a brilliant idea. What if they were to inject a computer virus into the alien mainframe, or hack the mothership, if you will, and then nuke it from inside, of course. David posits that this will drop the shields long enough for the world's military forces to mount an offensive to destroy the ships. Hiller volunteers to be the wheel man, and they take off to the mothership. Lone Star gives a stirring speech, and suits up to lead the offensive once the shields are down, proving this is a last-ditch effort, since if he doesn't make it back, or if the ships don't go down, he will be president over a pile of ash. Hiller and David make it to the mothership, and are autopiloted in. The virus load goes as planned, proving this is make-believe, but when they go to leave, they realize they are locked in place. The two say fuck it, and launch the nuke anyways, which miraculously frees them. They have 30 seconds to beat feet out of there before the whole thing goes boom. Back on Earth, the President and Black Sheep Squadron have expended most of their missiles, but haven't done enough damage. The President gets the brilliant idea of shoving a missile up the alien ship's ass, but only Russell, the crazed drunk of a crop duster, has a missile left. Unfortunately, it's jammed, but he's been probed by enough aliens to know how it works, so he flies his F-18 straight up the ship's poop chute and blows his load. Lone Star sends the message to the world on how to give the aliens a colonoscopy. The mothership blows up. Hiller and David crash back to Earth and smoke Swisher Sweets, the king of cigars, to celebrate, and roll everyone watching flaming debris falling to Earth on the 4th of July. Credits.
God, you did so well with this pod crawl until the very end.
No, I thought it was
nailed it.
Excellent.
You're right.
I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. Nailed it at the
Perfect.
end.
I wouldn't have changed a thing.
Not going to.
Good God.
All right. So Independence Day. This is the epitome of a turn your brain off and just enjoy all the cool effects movie.
You know what? Here's the thing. So
they still hold up, though.
No, they don't. Some of them do.
Some of them do.
Some of them don't. When I was watching this, the very first one that caught my eye, that I went, oh, Jason. Like, Jason's just got to be so frustrated watching this movie. Like a teenage boy who somehow sneaks into a strip club and like then he's immediately brought, like, just that kind of level of frustration is when the satellite hit the hit the ship and like there's an explosion. I'm like, there wouldn't have been an explosion.
No,
like,
was it made
Jason
out of gasoline?
Right? It's like, so I'm like, Jason hates this. Like, he hates all these.
No, it was even before that. It was when the ship was going over the moon and the moon was vibrating.
Yes.
Oh my God! Right?
Yeah, I wrote that down. I was like, how can a ship in space cause vibrations on the moon?
Yeah.
How?
All these, but that just, for me, that enhances my enjoyment of any movie, knowing that Jason's watching the same thing that I am and hating all these little things that's driving him nuts, like Rob tapping him on the shoulder every 3 seconds going.
Now, usually when a movie starts like that, like within the first 10 seconds of the movie and it's got some kind of bullshit like that, I immediately just shut off. I just watch the movie for the movie's sake, and I don't fucking try and pick apart the physics or the or the plot or anything.
But this is a good movie, right? Like, you agree with that, don't you?
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
It's very stirring. The plot is very relatable and very enjoyable. It is a good movie, and I thought it was well shot. It's well paced. The graphics are still okay for the time.
I mean, there are people that can do better at home with Photoshop now, but sure.
But I mean, considering this was 1995, 96.
Well, yeah.
And all of the
time.
aircraft, except for the biplane that acted as the crop duster, were all CG effects or models. I thought they did really well.
Oh, yeah. The planes held up, but like the ship blowing up at the end, the pancakes blowing up, like it looked very, very fake.
Yeah.
And when the ship was on like the cityscape where you could see, like, it just looked very fake.
Yeah, you could definitely tell they composited models on top of the cityscapes.
Yeah. So there were times where that was jarring, but for the most part, I thought this movie held up pretty good.
I think probably the character that I like least in this movie is the president. He's.
How do you not like him?
I don't know. He's
the Dudley Do-Right of America. Like, that's what that character is. Everything he did the right way.
No, I get that.
Right. So how do you not like that?
There was no conflict in him. And they
but you
tried
don't
to
want
make
conflict in a leader.
Well, I mean, everybody's got conflict. Everybody's got.
I get that.
Yeah.
I understand that. But when you think of, look, we here in America, for those of you who aren't, who are listening who aren't from America, we here in America tend to deify our founding fathers, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, Hamilton, like all these people, we tend to deify them, and we kind of usually overlook or conveniently forget that they were human and they had a lot of flaws, a ton of flaws.
No flaws at all. What are you talking about?
Right. So that's what they did in my mind, that's what they did with this character. They were like, we're going to make the president be the best of the best, like cream of the crop, military guy. Like, he's going to do everything the right way from the start. And he did struggle, to be fair. He did struggle with the nuclear strike on Houston.
See, I didn't see that as struggling to be fair. I thought that was struggling to make a call. He was opposed to making a decision.
I thought he was opposed to doing it, is what I thought he was, because, but it may have been that maybe he was very middle of the road and couldn't make a call and didn't want to make the decision. And so you had David play the part of like the conscience, right? Like, where you can't do this. You're killing more innocent Americans. And then you had the defense secretary Nimziki. Yeah, like on the other shoulder, gone, fuck it, let's just blow shit up, man.
Let's launch all the nukes right now. Let's do it.
Right? Do it. Just hit the button. And that motherfucker.
More fire.
Oh, my God. Like, that guy's the ultimate bad guy.
Oh, yeah,
like,
yeah. He was even more one-dimensional than the president.
He was more one-dimensional than the aliens.
Yeah, that's true. At least the alien had motivation. He just wanted to get the fuck out of Dodge.
Right? Oh my God. I hated that guy. I hated that character so much. But that's what this movie does really well, is it throws out these archetypes, and they do really well in standing on their own. Like, you may not like the archetype. You may not like the archetype that the president played. You may not like the archetype that the defense secretary was, but they're all like, they're well fleshed out. They may be one dimensional, but that one dimension it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's consistent and it works. It works with the plot. No, I did like the movie. I thought Roland Emmerich could have reined Will Smith in a little bit more. He, especially the scene after he gets rid of that alien that was on his tail and makes him crash into the cliff face. I think you get one liner. I don't think you get I don't think you get to do two. I don't think you get to do Welcome to Earth, and now I call that a close encounter. That doesn't work for me.
Well, I mean, maybe it was in his contract. I mean,
well, they used the whole, now that I call a close encounter for the trailer, so.
Well, I think this was Will Smith's breakout role, right?
Yeah,
from
this was
Fresh Prince, right?
Yeah.
So this was his first big movie.
Yeah, he had done a movie before, 6 Degrees of Separation, which is an excellent movie. I'd recommend it. It's got a stacked cast in that.
Is it sci-fi?
No, it's not sci-fi.
He also did Bad Boys.
So here's the
Bad
thing.
Boys before this?
Bad Boys was 1995.
Huh.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
So
I mean, that
here's
movie.
Well, okay. Just stop. Just stop.
It was not
here's
good.
the thing. I am not the biggest Will Smith fan, as I'm sure our listeners know. I don't typically care for him in movies, but there are two that I think that he did a really good job, and that doesn't exclude like the artsy stuff. Like, I think he did a great job in Muhammad Ali, and I think he did a good, or in Ali was the name of the movie, and I thought he did a good job in what's the name of the movie where he's a single father?
Pursuit of Happiness.
That one. So excluding those two, so that's 4 movies total that I think he's done a great job. This one is the one that I think he did a really good job in, and Bad Boys is the other one where I think he did a
like
really
him
good
in
job.
Men in Black?
I could take him or leave him.
Oh my God. He was so good in that movie.
He was good.
Whatever.
He was
even as a
awesome.
young man, I more related to the Tommy Lee Jones character.
Hey, I like Tommy Lee Jones in that movie too. I think those two made that movie. That and him.
It was a good side by side.
Yeah,
juxtaposition.
the buddy cop in that
The Odd
movie
Couple.
was awesome, and Rip Torn just rounded everything out.
Rip Torn. I miss Rip
We're not talking.
Yeah, we've
about-
already talked about that.
Yeah.
So,
Well, right, but I'm just saying, like those.
let's go
these are
back
the
to
two
Independence
movies.
Day.
Independence Day and Bad Boys are the ones where, like, when I think of Will Smith, these are the two movies that I think of. Because all of his other movies I could care less about.
but what did Will Smith do in Bad Boys that set him apart? I mean,
Well,
other than having to work,
He
with
was
Martin
taller than
Lawrence.
Martin. He was taller than Martin.
I think he was more in control than Martin Lawrence.
That's not saying a lot,
Well, it's not. I mean, it's a very low bar.
right?
But that was, again, you're talking about a movie where you literally have to suspend disbelief. You have to kind of just turn your brain off and enjoy the ride. And some
True.
movies work that you can do that. Bad Boys is one of them for me. One that isn't is Miami Vice. Like, there are just some movies that resonate with somebody where they can turn their brain off and they can just enjoy it for what it is. Some people can't. And it depends. I think that varies from movie to movie, because I'm sure there are people out there that looked at this movie and that very first scene where the moon's vibrating went, I can't do it. And they turned it on. Like, they're like, nope. If the whole movie's going to be like this, I'm out. But you're able to do it with this movie, but you're not able to do it with other movies.
Well, because other movies, I think, take themselves more seriously than this movie.
But this movie took itself
This took
seriously
itself
enough.
very
This movie
seriously.
took itself seriously somewhat, but
It took itself. I mean, how much more serious can you be than threatening the life of a sweet, innocent dog?
Where did Boomer go?
He jumped in. He jumped into the
he
closet.
did. Right. Yeah, he jumped into the
Before-
closet with Vivica A. Fox, which, oh, by the way, was just
My guess is she said
Vivica.
"Boomer stay," and then forgot to say "Boomer come."
Wait, no. Boomer was there with them whenever
Where?
they found the president's wife, because Boomer
Well,
jumped
yeah,
on that
yes.
fucking car
Right,
door
yeah,
that was
but-
sitting on top
Right.
of her.
No, I get that. No, but after that, like when they went into the desert, like we never saw a Boomer.
Yeah. I don't know where Boomer went. Maybe
Right,
Boomer
like-
decided, fuck that. Fuck, I'm not getting in a helicopter, and left.
The aliens aren't after me. They're after you, assholes.
Yeah. And
Just,
speaking of
again-
helicopters, how the fuck did Hiller know how to fly a helicopter?
Well, he's a pilot.
Well, he's an F-18 pilot.
Pilots, no, that doesn't matter. Pilots.
Well,
a pilot's
he
a
was
pilot.
also.
I think
yeah,
that's a
he
different
was
skill
also-
set.
He was applying
can
for
fly a
NASA,
spaceship
so
too.
he was applying for NASA. So maybe
Like, I don't
he
understand.
was making himself versatile.
I'm sure that he can ride a motorcycle. I'm sure he can drive a car. A pilot's a pilot.
I think that's a different skill set. I think helicopter pilots and airplane pilots would disagree with you.
Can we talk about Vivica A. Fox being a stripper?
Yeah, I don't see the chicken legs.
No, I don't either. Oh, Vivica. Oh, Vivica A. Fox, baby. Call me.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's Valentine's Day right now. I hope it's Valentine's Day where you are when you hear this. Call me.
Oh man. All right, put up another restraining order.
I'm filling it out now as we speak.
Um,
It's easier if we just use the form letter and we just insert name here.
fax it to them, have them sign it,
Yeah.
get it filed. Yeah.
Yeah.
It saves on legal fees.
Yeah, and it's just easier. I mean, they know we're not going to fight it.
We can't.
No, we really can't.
Yeah.
Why would you fight it? Don't fight it, Vivica.
Oh my
Whoa,
god.
God damn it. Now I got to do another one. Now I got to do a sexual harassment form letter.
And while we're at it, Margaret calling. Oh, Margaret. Oh, baby, you can call me too. Doesn't have to be Valentine's Day where you're at either. Just call me. I'm always around. Oh, you're so hot in this movie. Something about that, like nerdy, straight-laced, like, oh yeah, oh yeah. You can be my librarian any day.
Oh my god. And wasn't she
are
on
you
the West
asking
Wing
for?
too?
Was she? I don't know. I just remember being like, so this movie, 96, I actually saw this in the theater in Kentucky. We were visiting a friend and we were like, hey, let's go see this movie. It's supposed to be awesome. Packed theater. I think it was 4th of July weekend. Absolutely packed. And I just remember being very uncomfortable because both Vivica A. Fox and Margaret Cullen both of them did things to me.
Oh,
in that
yeah.
theater. Yeah, in that theater. Oh,
my
yeah.
Goodness.
You didn't have any books to carry in front of you?
I didn't. No, I think I had. I think it has a bag of popcorn that I could maybe try to put down, like to cover it up, but there's not. That was, yeah. Well,
No, maybe I'm thinking somebody else. I don't think she was in the West Wing.
she's been in other things. Like I recognize her. I'm trying to little research on the fly here. I haven't done that in a minute. Let's see what else she's been in.
Pretty in Pink.
Unfaithful.
Yeah.
That's
The Devil's Own.
Oh, she was in
Three
the
Men
Devil's
and a
Own?
Baby.
Private Lies. That was television, though.
Magnum PI.
She was in Gotham.
I never watched Gotham.
I didn't either. That's why I was surprised. There was only one. It looks like it was one episode. So it looks like she's just a character actor now.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's sad. Like, somebody
She
get
was in
this woman some
Gossip
steady
Girl
work
for a while.
Yeah, so hot.
Yeah, there's really just not a ton to talk about or pick apart if you don't take this movie super seriously. I mean, if you're going to take it seriously, yeah, it doesn't hold muster, but I don't think it's meant to be taken super seriously. It is a summer blockbuster movie. Big budget, big effects, lots of action.
But let's talk about the cast, because this is a stacked cast.
It is. Well, I mean, was it
Judd Hirsch.
For 96, yeah.
For 96, yeah, absolutely.
Judd Hirsch
and
is an actor that's been around for a while, but I mean,
okay,
he wasn't
but some of these actors are actors that we know that went on to do other things that are they've been great in, like absolutely fantastic, like Adam Baldwin.
Sure. And of
Brent
course, there's
Spiner.
the indomitable Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, whatever.
He was a huge actor before this movie, so
Okay, I'm going to say something controversial, and I know that Rob is probably going to pick me apart, and I know that Jason's going to 100% agree with me. When Hiller and David are walking out of the desert, right, after they've crash landed, after they've saved the day and killed people on the mothership, and they're both smoking the cigars, and I remember this vividly, and this is not why I smoke cigars. I just want to preface that. But as they're walking out, I just remember thinking to myself, you know that line where guys always go, women want me and men want to be me?
yeah.
I looked at Jeff Goldblum in 1996 in that theater, and I went, God damn, I want to be him right now. Like in that as he's just got this fucking swagger.
Yeah, he does.
As he's right. And Judd Hirsch is like, oh, this is healthy now. This is health. And he's like, I could get used to this.
So I'm glad you said that. I'll touch back on that during our awards segment.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
you're going to have
fantastic.
swagger being Jeff Goldblum and smoking a Swisher Sweet on the salt flats of Utah. I mean, that's definition of swagger. You look it up in a dictionary, and that's what it says.
Is it?
Yeah.
I was unaware of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does have this like air about him after this air of confidence that he didn't really have before. But I think that goes to again, all of these characters are fairly shallow, but I think that goes to Goldblum's acting chops where he can kind of flesh this out, where before he's this mild-mannered guy who, even where his ex-wife is like, you had no ambition. Like you didn't want to, did you ever want to do something, be a part of something that was great?
So I Googled Jeff Goldblum swagger. Yeah, the top result is the Independence Day walk.
Oh, fucking Christ.
Perfect.
All right, whatever.
The guy who played the general.
Oh, there's
Robert-
a funny story about that, but go on.
Yeah, Robert. He's been in a ton of shit.
No, William Fitchner, wasn't it?
No, Robert Loggia.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong Independence Day.
Yeah, Robert Loggia. So there was a funny movie about Robert Loggia, or funny story about Robert Loggia. So I think it wasn't Emmerich. It was the person who wrote this. Dean Devlin told Robert Loggia while they were shooting the movie to watch the movie Airplane to get kind of a sense of what his character was supposed to be like. Well, he meant watch the movie Airport because Airplane is a parody movie.
Yeah,
right.
But
but
Robert Loggia went out and got Airplane and watched it and then refused to come out of his trailer because he thought he had inadvertently signed on to a parody movie.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, can you imagine being told, "Yeah, this is a serious movie. You need to watch Airplane to get a sense of your character."
I don't know. See, okay, because I don't have a frame of reference here, but I would imagine when you read the script, you kind of get a little bit of a sense about what it's about and whether or not it's going to be taken seriously or not, or whether it's going to be campy. And then when you're on set and you start seeing, you're telling me that all the planes were CGI'd in, like that takes a level of a budget that wouldn't be in line with a parody.
I don't know.
Well,
in 1996,
all of the scenes that he was in though didn't involve planes.
Well, no, but the scene with the alien, where the alien had Brent Spiner, and was
but they hadn't filmed that yet. He's working off a script, and they may not have a lot of description on what the alien's doing, and they may have even posted that after the fact. I mean, they may not have used practical effects on that. I'm not sure. So he may never have seen that anyway while he was even filming.
Oh, that had to have been practical effect. The alien when they cut him open and then he went all okay. So I know I'm going to talk about something that we haven't watched yet, but Independence Day 2 Resurgence has.
I watched that today after
Brent
this one.
Spiner in it.
I haven't watched it.
You've never seen it?
No.
It's got Jeff Goldblum in it.
It does have.
I
Jeff
understand.
Goldblum.
It does.
It came out during a time that I was super busy and never got to the theater to watch it,
Right.
and I just haven't seen it.
Okay, but it has Brent Spiner in it playing Dr. What's his name? Novak?
So how did that happen?
Right. Like I thought he was dead from the first movie.
Right.
Oh, just in a coma.
It's like a soap opera with his character. I kind of like that.
I can't believe that he was just in a coma because Major Mitchell checked his pulse and looked like he was dead.
Yeah, Jane went over and he was like, Data's dead. Where's Mal?
That was a bad.
Shut up.
That was bad. Here
So
is
how
where
did
you
they bring
enter
him
the
back in the
crickets.
movie? Spoiler alerts for anybody who hasn't seen it like me, but I really don't give two shits. So how did they bring him back in the movie?
He's been in a coma for 20 years.
And they didn't explain.
And he ends up waking up when the aliens come back.
Yeah, when the aliens come back, they wake him up.
He was in close contact with the alien, and they used his brain, and so they basically said that there is some sort of residual effect from that. There's a few of them that have that particular problem. Yeah.
So
he has massive migraines now.
Is the second movie as bad as everybody says it is?
It's not.
It's
terrible.
It's not terrible.
It's not great.
It's all right.
It's not on. It's a sequel. I would say it suffers from sequel syndrome.
Okay.
It's a little rushed.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't even
the
think it
aliens show
cracks.
up in the first 10 minutes.
I don't even think it cracks 30% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's I'm being very generous here. But I would like if you've missed it, I think there's literally no reason for you to watch it unless it pops up on our list.
Perfect.
Just make sure it's on the list, would you?
It's on the list.
Or
it's on the same,
you might want to
entry
watch
as
it.
this one. So
Yeah, you might want to watch it for when you're run out of Jeff Goldblum material.
Yeah. Can we talk about the iconic speech? Can we talk about that? Because that speech is iconic.
Sure.
I mean, the aliens recorded it and showed it in the second.
They did record it somehow and showed it in research.
Yeah.
Researchers has so many problems. But this movie doesn't. And that speech is, I thought, well written. I thought Pullman pulled that off very well. I thought he was very believable. I thought he was relatable. I thought he was authentic.
So do you think
I would have jumped in a plane?
Yeah. Do you think for that speech though, do you think the fact that he tried to start it with the mic backwards was on purpose? Or do you think he did that on accident and the director said, "Oh no, that's pretty good. Let's keep that in."
You know what? I'm gonna hope that he did that on purpose. Because he did kind of seem like that kind of president, right? Where he wasn't not always.
He was not the speech maker. He was just a simple military man.
He's a simple military guy, right? So I would hope that was on purpose.
He deserved to be in the sky.
Yeah, it probably may have just been him not paying attention, and there you go.
No, I agree. I think the speech was iconic. It definitely is one of the standout moments of the movie. And when you say Independence Day, that's what a lot of people think of, is that speech, because it was a very well-written speech, very emotional, very moving. I don't know of any politician who would ever make that kind of speech. I think it's beyond.
If it's the end of the world?
Well, even at the end of the world, I don't see modern day politicians caring enough to make that kind of speech.
I don't know. I think in a situation where it's the end of the world, the end of civilization as we know it, as you're it's literally going to be, if you survive this, everything changes kind of moment. Then I can see I can see them making that kind of speech.
Yeah.
I liked how
I'm
they
more
did
jaded
end
than
of the world at the beginning of the.
Oh yes, I love that. REM's End of the World as we know
at the beginning of the show. Do you know all those lyrics? Can you ramble all that off?
I used to. I can't anymore. No. There's a lot of lines.
Yeah, no, I don't know any of it.
Well, it's because you don't feel fine.
Never have, never will.
Your loss.
Not really. That song is not good.
That song is awesome.
Whatever.
You just don't like good things.
That's not true. I love this movie. This movie is good.
Okay, you don't like a lot of good things.
I thought the movie was so good. I watched the second one.
Yeah, that's on you for being dumb.
No, man. I was in the Independence Day groove, and I looked at my watch, and I go, okay, I got 2 hours. I looked at the running time. It was 1 hour and 56 minutes. I was like, yes.
Wow.
I can do this.
So that movie is like half an hour less than this one?
Yeah.
It is.
Thank God. Look, when you're watching that movie, you're gonna be very happy that it's a half an hour less.
Yeah, it's just the right amount of sequel.
All right, final thoughts, gentlemen.
Yeah, if you haven't seen this movie, I don't know what you've been doing for the last almost 30 years. Go watch this fucking movie.
Yeah, go watch it. It's good. We watched this show, and now you have to.
Now you have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely a recommend. It's a sci-fi staple.
It's a recommend just because it has Goldblum in it. Shut up.
Well, yeah. I mean,
nobody takes you seriously
point.
when
Okay, you
Goldblum
don't
is
recommend
involved.
it? Are you not recommending?
No, I do. I do, but not because of
This
Goldblum.
doesn't make why I recommend it.
You recommend all of Goldblum.
In spite of Will Smith, you recommend this because of Jeff Goldblum.
Name a bad Jeff Goldblum movie.
Independence Day 2.
I haven't seen it, but it's got to be at least somewhat good. You guys have said it's okay.
It's like,
and it might be okay just because of Jeff Goldblum.
It's okay if you just want to play in this universe again and you don't care about it. Because honestly, at the end of this movie, everything was tied up in a nice little bow. It didn't matter. Who thought that there would ever be a sequel of this?
Well,
Yeah,
and then they left it open and said, "Hey, we actually have enough for 2 more sequels."
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're trying to make this thing a trilogy
they have a third
or a
one
series.
figured out.
Because Hollywood is out of ideas.
Have been for a while.
Yep, 100%.
All right, James, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Is Independence Day, this alien invasion blockbuster of 1996, more sci-fi than 11/22/63?
In this movie, there are actual extraterrestrials. There are spaceships. There are lasers. There are pilots that don't know how to pilot F-18s that end up piloting F-18s. There's mind control. And there is there's big giant we nuke Houston.
So you're saying no?
Yeah. In 11/22/63, there's a closet. So yes, Independence Day more sci-fi than 11/22/63.
Rob, you got a haiku for us this week?
I do. This one is titled Earth's Manifesto. To all aliens, we fight till the bitter end. Or fat girl singing.
Nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, who's got awards this week?
I
know
do.
it.
Rob, who's got your black lung?
I'm going to leave the end scene for James, and I'm going to go with Daddy Goldblum, always ready with those cigars, especially while he plays chess.
Okay, James?
I'm actually going to give it to the entire White Knight squadron because that's their victory dance, is lighting up cigars. And beforehand, during the briefing...
Black Knight. It was Black Knights.
Was it Black Knight? I thought it was
Black
White
Knights.
Knight.
No, Black Knights.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fine. The Black
'Cause
Knights.
I thought it was a little weird that they were called Black Knights and then their leader was Will Smith.
Well, that's just racist on your part. Anyway, they were passing around a box of cigars, tubos, as a matter of fact, because when you put those in your jumpsuit, you got to have something to protect them. So I caught on that right away. I was like, oh, tubos. That's the way to do it, since not everyone's going to have a pocket cigar case. So hats off to the Black Knight Squadron, and they get my Black Lung Award.
All right. My Black Lung Award is going to go to Mr. Goldblum himself because, swagger.
Swisher Sweets.
Swisher Sweets. Salt flats.
There was no wood tip. There was no plastic tip. There were no tips at all. In fact,
they have Swisher Sweets that don't have tips.
If I am going to critique this movie at all, I'm going to say that in the scene where they're both in the ship, kind of contemplating that this is the end, and they're going to just have to fire the nuke and die, but they'll save humanity, and they'll take solace in that. They light up their cigars. They don't cut them first.
Maybe they
Well,
pre-cut
look,
them.
you only have you can only take so much weight up into space. Weight is a premium, okay?
Right. And so they cut the tips off to lose weight. Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
It was that 1 gram that they cut off the end of 2 cigars that allowed them to break orbit.
And the fact that they didn't bring a cutter with them.
Right. Yeah, because the cutter's hefty. Sure. All right, whatever. God damn.
All right, James, who's got your head lush?
My head lush goes to David for going on a bender after we nuked Houston, which that would be a celebratory bender for me, not really a woe was me bender.
Fuck you.
And so it goes to him because I obviously gave him a fantastic idea.
Rob?
Yeah, same scene, same person for doing his best drinking while drunk on vodka.
That wasn't vodka.
What was it?
I don't know if you've ever had vodka. It sounds like
No,
you
I thought.
haven't.
Okay, so wait, no, I thought
Vodka
his
is not
ex-wife.
brown.
Yeah, that was
I thought his
brown,
ex-wife pulled out a clear bottle out of the fridge.
No,
Okay.
she put the bottle in the fridge, and he
Oh.
immediately removed it out of the fridge. Like, what
I
movie
wasn't-
were you
And
watching?
it was almost
I don't
empty.
know.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why it
I
looked
wasn't paying
clear.
attention.
But the liquid at the bottom was brown. It looked kind of like
so
shitty
probably
scotch.
Yeah.
Scotch or tequila or something.
Might have been tequila. Looked more like scotch because it was in
It
a
looked
square
more
bottle.
whiskey-ish. Yeah. It was not.
Okay.
Fucking Jesus.
Maybe he ate the worm.
Okay. You know what?
Move on.
I don't think you should be able to give this award anymore. Do you just guess at what liquor looks like?
I close my eyes anytime I see alcohol on the screen and go la 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 la.
It's of the devil.
Oh my God.
It's the devil's Kool-Aid.
All right, so mine's going to go again to Mr. Goldblum for being on that bender and coming up with the brilliant idea of, well, stealing the brilliant idea that his father gave him of contributing a computer virus to the mothership. So, I mean, that's where everybody gets all of their great ideas throughout history, is they get blackout drunk and have an idea.
That's how that's how the show came about, I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
This
absolutely.
show?
Yeah. Blackout drunk.
Yeah.
And I had the idea. Yeah.
Mhm.
All right, Rob, who's got your player?
I'm giving my player to Nerdy Goldblum, who saves the planet and comes back looking all sexy and ends up getting his ex-wife back.
Okay, James.
That's it. Christ, Rob. Mine goes to Vivica A. Fox for being a stripper, owning the fact that she's a stripper, and still being so good at what she does that Will Smith's like, fuck it. Like, if I don't, she's the reason that I'm not going to get into NASA. Like, that's a pretty good fucking reason.
Okay. Mine's going to go to David, a.k.a. Jeff Goldblum, because, yeah, he got his ex-wife back after saving the planet. James, who has your purple hippo?
Goes to Data, Brent Spiner, Dr. whatever his name was, because when you have an alien in your head, it doesn't get more fucked up than that.
Okay, Rob?
Yeah, I gave it to Brett Spiner, specifically because he got choked, and we all know anal probing is better while you're being choked.
Wow.
I don't think we all know that, but thanks for imparting your knowledge.
Well, now you know.
I just have, I have so many questions that I don't want to ask. So many.
Probably better that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, mine's going to go to David because
Choke me like you love me.
You know what? I think I want to change mine. Can I change my player award?
No.
My
Oh,
player
yeah, sure.
award goes
I'll
to
be the player.
Yeah, goes to Rob's wife
Oh, shit.
for talking him into taking it in the ass and get choked at the same time.
did she have to talk him into it?
I think she just kind of mentioned it. He's like,
I
I'm
had
all
to talk
in.
her
I
into
think
it.
he
I'm all
had
in.
to talk her into it.
Yeah.
So mine's going to go to Jeff Goldblum because the dude was afraid to fly and got airsick, and he had to overcome that to fly into space and into the bowels of the mothership.
Don't talk about bells.
Well, that's the theme of this episode is anal probing. So
Anal probing. Yeah. We didn't talk about Russell enough. We really did not talk about Russell enough. Like, he should have got like the Head Lush Award because that guy was always drunk. Like, he's the silent star of this movie, except he's not very silent.
yeah, but I mean, he was there. He was the comic relief of the movie. He definitely was
What
that.
did his kid have?
What do you mean? What did his kid
embarrassment?
have?
No, like, one of his kids was sick. Well,
Well,
Yeah,
I think
he
it
was
was a
just
combination of car sickness and anxiety.
Yeah, and embarrassment. Like, they were all embarrassed of their dad.
yeah, but the one kid was like physically sick, and
Yeah.
like, they came out and he said what he had, but I couldn't.
Rob, when aliens invade, and it's not an if, it's a when. When aliens invade, you're probably gonna puke too. So just like, I don't. Why is this even a thing?
He's gonna have a belt and some KY ready.
No, they have their own.
Wait.
tentacles, it's fine.
Let me do it harder. Just no, the belt's not tight enough. I can still breathe. Don't go all David Carradine on us, man. That's not what I need.
Yeah, you got to be responsible with that shit.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, it just goes to prove that that that's what happened because Spiner was back for the second one. So he just passed out a little hard. Right? I mean,
he didn't tap soon enough.
He couldn't say the safe word fast enough.
I think you killed Jason.
I think I did.
Oh shit! Okay, it's time to pick the next movie. Who's picking the number? Who's telling me when to stop?
Just let Rob do it. He's doing everything else this episode.
What number, Rob?
Let's
Is
go
there
with
a number
8.
for
No, we're gonna go with 8. Because that's how long you've got to last is 8 seconds, right? When you're riding the lightning.
All right. Tell me when to stop.
Don't ever stop. Keep
Oh
choking
my
me like
God!
you
I
love me.
don't do that right now.
Do it. I'm almost there. There. Keep going.
Stop.
Fine. You said stop. If you want.
Oh my God.
Rob, sometimes the podcast gold just literally falls out of you, and I never knew why, and now I do. Just literally, you're.
Just stop there. It's fine.
All right. So next week we will be discussing the movie where, in a self-destructing world, a vengeful Australian policeman sets out to stop a violent motorcycle gang. This movie is directed by George Miller and stars Mel Gibson and Joanne Samuel. It is 1979's Mad Max.
Yeah. All right. I can get behind that.
All right, and that's all we've got for this week. Our intro and outro music is Welcome Home by Cambo. Podcrawl music is Snack Mix by Machette. If you like the show, please rate and review us on iTunes. You can leave us feedback on our Discord channel at smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Discord.
Jason written
On Twitter at @status_podcast, or you can email us at smokinganddrinkinginspace@outlook.com. If you'd like to throw a few nickels our way, you can become a Patreon supporter by going to smokinganddrinkinginspace.com/Patreon. And make sure to visit Creative Brain Candy for more great shows and other creative works at creativebraincandy.com. God, for this week, I'm Jason.
Too tight. Pumpernickel. Save words. Pumpernickel. Stop. Stop.
I got
Pumpernickel.
I got nothing. I got nothing. I was gonna make a joke about his wife walking in with a strap on, but I got nothing.
Yeah. All right, we'll talk to you next week.
And if that wasn't a good enough compliment for Cat and Logan, like don't extort people. It's against the law, especially in Canada. But you guys are great. Seriously, I mean it.